There is nothing better than a catfight, especially among people who are just preternaturally and naturally miserable. Miserable people like Joy Behar and that Kaitlan Collins, the brow, the one on CNN. Have you seen them? Oh, dear God. The spectacle around and surrounding the recent attacks on America's sweetheart, Karoline Leavitt, a mere 27-year-old press secretary, a genius, the youngest press secretary in history at, dare I say again, 27, has revealed not only the thinly veiled catfighting, bitchy, snitchy, witchy jealousy of her critics, but the lengths to which radical left media like CNN and The View will go to tear down rising stars of the Trump administration instead of helping them, being proud of them as women. What, are you kidding? At the heart of the bizarre episode are these snipes and jabs from the likes of Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg, who instead of offering constructive criticism, resorted to shallow, sexist remarks, snide, petty jabs and grievances. Behar went as far as saying that Karoline Leavitt only got her position because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. A comment so backward that if it had come from a conservative, it would have caused an uproar. Joy Behar's sniveling, mean-spirited, tasteless comments didn't just reek of envy and jealousy, this harridan. They exposed her inability to comprehend that young, capable women can succeed on merit, not just appearance. Her remarks, her comments, were immediately countered by former Trump staffer Alisa Farah Griffin, who reminded her that Leavitt is highly qualified. But Behar wasn't alone in her outrage. Oh, no. Whoopi Goldberg, the one who sews a mop into her head, also piled on, claiming that Leavitt's remarks against wokeness were offensive and that she only had her job because of the very wokeness she was denouncing. Now, Whoopi Goldberg's implication that women owe their success solely to progressive policies diminishes the hard work and the talent and accomplishments of individuals like Karoline Leavitt, who earned her spot through competence, not quotas, not DEI, dare I say. The media frenzy hit a fever pitch when Kaitlan Collins, the brow lady, the woman who looks like she's passing a painful Bezor, this woman who's about to watch CNN completely collapse into dust before her very eyes, decided to spar with Leavitt during her first press conference. So the brow lady, Collins, clearly eager to make her mark somehow as the bold reporter taking on the Trump administration, who, by the way, is doing White House, and TV work. Anyway, what am I going to say? She tried to grill Karoline Leavitt about President Trump's firing of 17 inspectors general. And the fiery exchange, or the attempted, was less about actual legal concerns and more about Collins trying to paint the administration as lawless. But Leavitt, poised and unflappable, unshaken, reminded Collins that the president has full authority over the executive branch, citing legal precedents like the Scalia law case. Collins' attempts to trap Karoline Leavitt, America's sweetheart, fell flat. And instead of making headlines for exposing wrongdoing, she became a symbol, a laughingstock of CNN's desperation as the network faces dwindling irrelevance, I should say, as it hemorrhages numbers. It's anemic. The real story here isn't Leavitt's performance under pressure. She handled herself brilliantly. No. As anyone who watched her calmly dismantle the media's gotcha questions saw firsthand, the real story is how women, harridans, myrtlesees, these harpies, these viragos, these grimalkins like Behar and Goldberg and Collins, reveal their own insecurities when confronted with a younger, perhaps more attractive, more successful woman who isn't towing the progressive line. Joy Behar's comment about Leavitt's looks was dripping with irony, considering the very people who claim to champion women are the first to tear them down when they don't fit the mold of liberal orthodoxy. For a show like The View, which claims to empower women, it's laughably hypocritical to reduce Karoline Leavitt to her physical appearance while ignoring her impressive resume and skill set. What makes this saga even more comical is how Leavitt used her first press conference, which was magnificent, to do exactly what the media despises, call them out for their bias. She announced that traditional media outlets would no longer monopolize the press pool, and that new media, which is often dismissed by legacy outlets as being, not having earned their ranks yet, will get the chance to ask questions. Predictably, this infuriated Goldberg and her co-host with Sonny Hostin, who, by the way, whose old man's in some bit of a pickle, but Sonny Hostin whining that these new reporters wouldn't be qualified, that they don't have the chops, the gravitas. Apparently, in their world, only those who parrot the liberal mantra, the liberal narrative, only they deserve access. But Karoline's move wasn't just bold. It was a signal that the Trump administration is serious about holding the media accountable and restoring balance to the room. It was magnificent. And perhaps the most revealing part of the spectacle was when Leavitt directly confronted CNN's brow lady about the firings of inspectors general, a move that Collins tried to frame as an abuse of power, and Leavitt, unfazed, explained the firings were entirely legal and necessary to clean out entrenched bureaucrats from previous administrations who were obstructing Trump's agendas. Kaitlan, Collins, and her insinuation that Trump was targeting prosecutors for personal vendettas was swiftly dismissed and scotched and trampled and trammeled by Leavitt, who pointed out that the White House counsel had reviewed the legality of the decision. And once again, Collins, in her attempt to catch Leavitt off guard, backfired, with Leavitt asserting with a perseveration that the administration would win any legal challenges in court. You know, my good friend, the radical left, the media, the legacy media, their animosity towards Karoline Leavitt is rooted in their fear of her efficacy, her effectiveness, her lethality. She isn't just another talking head, another pretty face, reading prepared statements, especially after that Karine Jean-Pierre, that horror with a mop on her head. No, she's a force to be reckoned with. And she proved it during her debut press briefing. Under sustained assault from legacy media, she confidently answered dozens of questions, scolded traditional, hoary Oshio's outlets for their dishonesty, and hit every major MAGA note. She was magnificent. She even made time to ridicule the Biden administration's failure to control inflation, including skyrocketing egg prices by blaming the previous administration's inflationary policies. Every answer she gave, everyone, was a reminder that Trump is back. Oh, we are so back. And they aren't here to play nice. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And finally, of course, there was what's also hilarious, I think, about this in this saga is the fact that Kaitlan Collins, who works for a network struggling to maintain relevance, had the utter audacity to act as if CNN were still the gold standard of journalism. The network's declining ratings, combined with its obvious bias, have rendered it a shell of its former self. Karoline Leavitt's refusal to give Collins the satisfaction of a slip-up was a reminder that the Trump administration isn't intimidated by media theatrics, but these feigned histrionics. Oh, no. Instead, they're prepared to expose it for what it is, an extension of the Democratic Party's talking points. Meanwhile, Whoopi Goldberg's rant about wokeness was a textbook example of how out of touch, how hoary, how ossified the view has become. Her claim that Leavitt owes her career to wokeness ignores the reality of this. And I could go on, my friends, but I don't have to. You know and I know. There's a new sheriff in town. And that sheriff is called MAGA. And Karoline Leavitt was absolutely superb. Superb. Do you hear what I have to say? Superb. All right, my friends, what do you think? By the way, did you know that 87%, I keep telling you this was true, 87% of the people who watch my videos do not subscribe? What's going on here? Do yourself and me a favor. Subscribe and comment. as you see fit.